Hey, good morning, it's Owen, Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Wanted to do another little update on the luncheon I was at, Vancouver Real Estate Board luncheon last week with Tony Giaventu as the guest speaker, who's president of BC Homeowners Association and an expert on strata law in the province. And a couple times a year he puts one of these luncheons on. I always try and attend. Nobody knows strata law like Tony, and he also has a pretty good bead on where strata law is going down the road and what kind of changes are going to be coming up. Now, we talked a lot about depreciation reports, an update where we are now with depreciation reports. I'd say probably right now in the province, probably 30% of all the complexes have got a depreciation report done or about to get one done. Maybe another 10 or 15% are planning on getting it done later this year. The rest have voted to defer it for another year, and they'll vote on it again next year whether to get it done or not. I think the tipping point will come in another year or so, where more will have it than don't. At that point, it's going to put a lot more pressure on the stratas that decided to defer it, because buyers are going to be aware of it now. They're going to be going around asking for if a depreciation report has been done. If it hasn't, it's been law now for a couple years. They're going to start to wonder, well, why are you deferring it? What are you trying to hide? But Tony had some other interesting stuff at the end on kind of his crystal ball and where things are headed. And as far as the depreciation reports, in another 2 or 3 more years, as the majority of strata start to get these done, don't be surprised if you start seeing changes to the resolution, the percentage, the 75% vote you need to get any resolutions passed as far as special levies or maintenance to the complex or bylaw changes or whatever. Right now, as we all know, you need a 75% vote. 75% of the owners have to approve it for it to pass. It's pretty tough in this world. 75% is a lot, and it makes it difficult, and it has in the past, for a lot of stratas to get things approved, especially if you need a $4 million roofing levy and you've got a couple hundred owners and they're each going to be looking at $5,000 to pay for this new roof. A lot of times these votes can go on for years, getting defeated before they're finally passed. Now, don't be surprised in the next 2-3 years, again, as we get these depreciation reports out now, and they'll have a 30-year timeline on what's going to need to be done. And let's say it calls for a new roof. The roof is 30 years old. It's at the end of its life expectancy. Right now you need 75% vote to get it approved to pass a levy or take some money out of the CRF. Don't be surprised down the road if that vote goes from 75% down to just a majority vote. So all you're going to need is 51% instead of the 75%. So you can see the way the government is going here. That whole started with the leaky condos. You also got all kinds of horror stories about people buying a condo and then a year later getting hit with a $20,000 or $30,000 rain screening levy. Bankruptcy, a lot of people had to go bankrupt or foreclosed because of these excessive levies. So the government now is, it's trying to create a lot more transparency for the buyer and less surprises, and they're trying to make it a lot easier for strata councils to pass votes for levies to fix roofs and elevators and that kind of thing and keep these buildings in good shape. And I think it's probably good legislation, but it's something that'll be interesting moving down, in the future here. As I say, don't be surprised that if that 75% resolution eventually just becomes a majority vote. They want to start making it a lot easier for the people in the majority to start getting things passed and keeping their complexes up and in good condition. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.